Hey Dragon Slayers, today's video is about muscle loss and its connection to insulin resistance. So, in the average middle aged person, muscle accounts for roughly 25 to 30% of all of their body mass. So, that makes it the largest insulin sensitive tissue in the body. Muscle also is very responsive to insulin, which elicits several important effects, such as promoting muscle growth and maintenance and regulating protein metabolism. And in the context of insulin resistance, muscle is very important. How much of it we have and how insulin sensitive it is. It's vital in determining how insulin sensitive our entire body is. This is largely a function of muscle's ability to take up glucose from the blood in response to insulin. As glucose drops, insulin returns to baseline. So, as the amount of muscle increases or decreases, insulin sensitivity changes accordingly. Naturally, this means that if we have more muscle, we have more room to deposit glucose and remove it from the blood, which helps keep insulin low and maintain a higher degree of insulin sensitivity. With insulin resistance, the, the muscle is approximately half as insulin sensitive as it should be, and the muscle is usually one of the first tissues to become insulin resistant. Insulin resistance compromises healthy muscle function, potentially contributing to muscle loss, reduced muscle capacity, and decreased performance. Sarcopenia is the term for muscle loss that accompanies aging. We lose roughly 1% of our muscle each year after middle age. Of course, losing muscle is a somewhat normal part of aging, stemming from changes in several hormones, including growth hormones and androgens. But as a muscle becomes resistant to the effects of insulin, this includes a resistance to insulin's anabolic effects, and the muscle loses a potential growth signal. To maintain or grow muscle, the muscle must produce enough cellular protein to compensate for any protein loss. This phenomena is referred to as protein turnover, and it can be negative. The muscle is losing more protein than it's building. Neutral, the protein is matched by building. The protein loss is matched by building. Or positive, the protein is building, the muscle is building more protein than it is losing. Insulin stimulates muscle protein creation while preventing muscle protein degradation, helping a muscle be in neutral, if not positive, protein turnover. But all of this is contingent, of course, on the muscle sensing and responding to insulin. People with insulin resistance outside of the effects of aging have a relatively increase in muscle protein breakdown compared with insulin sensitive people of the same age. In other words, if you're insulin resistant, you'll have a harder time promoting muscle growth or even maintaining muscle mass. So, when it comes to insulin and bodybuilders, competitive and not so competitive bodybuilders, like any athlete, are interested in any strategy that gives them an advantage. Sometimes this includes using illicit substances like anabolic steroids and human growth hormone. Some may turn to seemingly benign hormones like insulin. Its ability to stimulate skeletal muscle growth is real, but as I hope it's clear by now, when chronically elevated, insulin is far from benign. As informed users would need to consider the effects other than muscle growth, including insulin resistance, high blood cholesterol, high blood pressure, dementia, and so on. But hey, at least you have big muscles. That is, of course, until the progressive insulin resistance makes them ever more difficult to maintain. So that's what I've got for you guys today. Don't forget to like and subscribe because it really helps the channel out. And remember, guys, that together, you and I, will slay the dreaded diabetes dragon.